we need to talk about this because everybody is talking about it. Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays have somehow become the dreadful days instead of Mondays, right? Like we get to the evening on Sunday feeling defeated, tired of fighting with one another, disappointed with what we had accomplished or not accomplished, rather feeling disconnected from one another, not on the same page, right? Feeling like nothing happened that we wanted to make happen. Remember how I talked about wondering if, right, myself or like being accused of having a hidden camera in my office? And no, for the record, I don't have one. You might not remember this. That's okay. It's been a while. But I talked about this thing that was happening, this phenomenon where it felt like all my couples were dealing with one thing that particular week. And it felt to me like almost as if they were, right, passing notes in the waiting room. At that time, the first time that this happened, it was driving. Then it was this mess that, like this mess that the weekends have become for people. How that happens, like that it all comes out at the same time for folks is beyond me. But the fact that it's a thing, and clearly it's a thing all over the place, tells me that we need to talk about this because you might need to hear this too. So how do you make the weekends not be the dreadful thing that they have become? Here's what it starts with. It starts with you. So take a moment, you alone, to think about your weekend first. And if you're already pushing back and saying, I don't have any plans, right? I don't have any expectations. Let me tell you something. You do. You just might not know what they are consciously. But you want to do something, even if that something is sleeping till noon on Saturday and Sunday and not do anything the rest of the day but play, right? With your dogs, with your friends, or with your spouse. Or you do want to mow or clean the kitchen or do a load of laundry because you ran out of time on Thursday. That typically is laundry day after having dinner with your family. So you think about that first. Jot a few things down if you must, right? So that you remember what they are. But do this first. And ideally, you would both do this before you come to the table to talk through it together. What is it that's on my list? Right? That's the question. Once you have done that, you come together for part 2. And if you've never done this together, here's how you can start the conversation. Hey, you know how the last few weekends have kind of turned into a mess of a situation? I would love to figure out a better way to do them. Here's a post I read, or you can send them here to watch this video for themselves first, right? Or you can say, hey, I would like to compare some notes with you on Thursday night. Like, would that work for you? Could you think about what you'd like to have happen this coming weekend? I want to know, what are your hopes and dreams for the weekend? I would love to hear them. Does Thursday night work for that after dinner? So you make that plan, right? You decide on a time, and then you have the actual conversation. You both tracking with one another. You each thought about, right, what that is that you would like. It does not need to take 4 or 5 hours by any means, but you have those notes with you, or those ideas in your head if you didn't write them down. And then Thursday comes around, and you two sit down, you talk, you share all those things. On your personal agenda, here's this thing for me, what are they for you? Let me hear it. You can take turns, right? Like going down your list, or one of you shares all of their things and then the other one does the same thing. The question of the day is going to be this: can we make all of that happen? How can we do that? How can we do that together? So say, for example, one of you says, I would like to work on the yard, I would like to go out to dinner, I want to paint all the bedrooms, I want to spend time with you, I want to read at least 4 chapters of the book that I'm reading, I want to sleep until 10 a.m. and go have beer, with the guys on Friday night. Okay? The other one of you says, I want to vacuum everywhere, I want to clean the bathrooms and tile floors, I want to do laundry, including all the sheets, I want to go for a walk, just you and me, I want to do a bike ride with the family, I want to do some prepping, like of food for the week, and grocery shopping, right? So then from there, once you lay it all out, you decide, and this is a must, like you decide what the priorities are on your own list for yourselves first. What of these things, right, is most important to me? What of this can I do? When can I do it? How do we allow for the priorities to fit into that schedule so that you can both feel productive and rested, or just productive, or just rested? That's okay, so long as you know that that's what's happening. And then from there, you chunk it out, right? Together, you write out the days. You say Friday night, Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon, Saturday night, Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon, Sunday night, and you fill in the priorities first. Always do that first, right? Like if that's the sleeping in until 10 a.m., then that's what you put in on Sunday and Saturday morning. No judgment, right? If it's getting a workout in or a run in before anyone else is awake, or spending the morning sitting on the couch and reading a book, that's what that is. Again, no judgment, right? Doing the best you can, estimating, right, how long each thing will take. You decide ahead of time, actually, how much time you're willing to give this. And then, guess what? You execute the plan together. That's it, right? Most often the problem arises when the couples don't ever compare notes on this, right? When they don't actually talk through it. And now that you know that that's the biggest problem, you got that taken care of, now you can go and just put it to work. Have fun and love your weekends again. So I'll see you in the next video.